Once upon a time in Jiaozhou, there was a merchant named Su who made a living by trading across the sea. One day, a fierce storm blew him far off course, and he ended up in a strange land filled with high mountains and dense forests. After securing his boat and gathering some supplies, he ventured inland, hoping to find people. As he explored, he noticed that the rocks had large holes, like beehives. Curious, he peeked inside one and was horrified to see two monstrous yikshaws with sharp teeth and glowing eyes. They were tearing apart raw deer meat with their bare hands. Terrified, Su tried to run, but the yikshaws saw him, grabbed him, and dragged him inside. The yikshaws made strange, bird-like sounds and began pulling off Su's clothes as if they were about to eat him. Desperate to save himself, Su quickly offered them the food he had in his bag. The yikshaws eagerly ate it and searched for more. When they found none, they became angry again. Panicking, Su gestured wildly and pointed toward his boat, trying to explain that he could cook food for them. Though they didn't understand his words, his gestures got the message across. They took him back to the shore to fetch a cooking pot, then returned to the cave, where Su started a fire and cooked the rest of the deer meat. The yikshaws loved it. That night, they blocked the cave entrance with a huge stone so he couldn't escape. Su slept at a distance, unsure if he would survive the night. At dawn, the yikshaws left and returned later with a fresh deer, giving it to Su to cook. He prepared a large meal, and soon, more yikshaws arrived to join the feast. They enjoyed his cooking so much that they started bringing him more meat regularly and even provided him with a bigger pot. Over time, the yikshaws began treating Su more kindly, leaving him unguarded when they went out. He gradually learned their language, which pleased them so much that they gave him a cave woman as a wife. Though initially terrified of her, he realized she was kind, always saving the best food for him. They eventually grew close and lived happily together. One day, the entire community dressed in pearl necklaces and prepared for a grand event. Su's wife explained that it was their king's birthday. Noticing that Su had no pearls, the others generously gave him some, and his wife strung them into a necklace for him. He was taken to a massive cave where the king arrived in a whirlwind, looking much like the other yikshaws. The king was impressed by Su's cooking and ordered him to prepare meals regularly. As a reward, he gave Su even more pearls, each one extremely valuable. Years passed, and Su's wife gave birth to triplets, 2 boys and a girl. Unlike their mother, they looked completely human, which delighted the other yikshaws. As the children grew, Su taught them to speak his native language, strengthening his bond with them. One day, longing for home, he secretly took one of his sons to the shore, where his old boat still remained. Without telling his wife, they sailed away and, within a day, reached Jiaozhou. Upon returning, Su discovered that his old wife had remarried. Selling just 2 of his pearls made him incredibly wealthy, and he built a grand home. His son, named Piao, grew into a powerful young man, capable of lifting enormous weights. His strength and skill in combat earned him a position in the military, and by 18, he had become a colonel after proving himself in battle. Years later, another merchant was shipwrecked in the land of the cave people and was surprised to find a young man who looked Chinese. The young man, Su's second son, revealed his father was from Jiaozhou. The merchant, recognizing the family name, excitedly told him that his brother Piao was now a high-ranking officer. Hearing this, the young man longed to reunite with his family but feared that his mother, being different, would not be accepted. He secretly wrote a letter for the merchant to deliver to his father and brother. When the merchant returned to Jiaozhou and delivered the message, Piao was deeply moved. Ignoring his father's warnings about the dangers, he set off with 2 soldiers to find his lost family. Unfortunately, a storm blew them far off course, and their boat capsized. Piao was rescued by a mysterious caveman who told him he was thousands of miles in the wrong direction, near the land of the poisonous dragons. However, the rescuer helped him travel back at an incredible speed, pushing a boat through the water like an arrow. Arriving at the shore, Piao immediately recognized his brother, who was pacing anxiously. The two embraced, and Piao asked about their mother and sister. When told they were safe, Piao wanted to see them immediately, but his brother insisted on fetching them discreetly. Soon, their mother and sister arrived, and an emotional reunion followed. They hesitated to leave, fearing how they would be treated in China, but Piao reassured them that, as a respected officer, he would ensure their safety. The wind suddenly changed in their favor, and they quickly set sail. Within 3 days, they reached Jiaozhou. Piao gave his mother and sister new clothes, helping them blend in, and after a few months, they had learned to speak Chinese. His younger brother, Pao, was naturally gifted and quickly mastered books and history but preferred military training. He later achieved high military rank, while their sister, Ye, became a skilled archer and warrior. Though finding a husband was difficult due to her unusual origins, she eventually married a sergeant named Yuan. She fought alongside him in battles, helping him rise in rank. Pao eventually became a top military commander, and their mother, refusing to stay behind, fought beside him in armor, wielding a spear. Her bravery struck fear into their enemies. When Pao earned an honorary title, he requested that the emperor grant his mother the title of Lady, recognizing her strength and courage.